Russian overnight strikes caused fires at multiple energy infrastructure facilities in Ukraine as fighting intensified around the frontline city of Pokrovsk.
Ukrainian President Zelensky visited the frontline city of Kherson to mark the third anniversary of its liberation from Russian forces. A suicide bomber outside a courthouse in Islamabad, Pakistan, has left 12 people dead and over 20 wounded.
At least one person was injured and several fires broke out after a wave of Russian drone strikes targeted the Odessa region, Ukraine's state emergency service said on Tuesday. The attacks happened late on Monday evening and triggered fires in a number of energy infrastructure facilities. All the blazes were extinguished by firefighters, the emergency service added. Strikes were also reported in the frontline city of Kramatorsk, where one person was reported killed after Russian drones hit civilian infrastructure, according to the city council. The strikes come as intense fighting continues on the front line, especially near the city of Pokrovsk, where Russian troops have been closing in over the past weeks. The two sides have locked in a battle for control of Pokrovsk in Ukraine's eastern Donetsk region, where Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says Russia has assembled 170,000 troops for a renewed push. The General Staff of the Armed Forces said Ukrainian forces repelled 63 Russian attacks there over the past day.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky visited the frontline city of Kherson on Tuesday, as it marks its third anniversary since Ukrainian forces liberated it from Russian occupation. During his time in the city, Zelensky visited a Kherson hospital and met with local residents injured in Russian strikes. According to officials, he also met with troops and presented them with awards. In a video address recorded in Kherson, Zelensky said today's most important goal for the authorities is to strengthen the city's defenses.
Систем визначили, що треба дати Херсону, щоб було більше захисту, тисячі ударів російських дронів щомісяця проти цього міста. Фактично постійна така загроза. Визначив, що наші сили безпілотних систем, птахи Мадяра і інші підрозділи збільшать тут спроможності, саме спроможності захисту. Важливо.
The Kherson region is still partially occupied by Russian forces on the left bank of the Dnieper River. Kherson was the only regional capital that Russian troops managed to temporarily capture since Moscow's full-scale invasion of Ukraine.
It has been over 2 years since the European Union imposed punitive measures on Kosovo in response to unresolved tensions with Serbia. The EU has previously said it would gradually lift the measures, but has made little to no progress. But what impact do these measures now actually have?
Na terenu to nije toliko primetno. Mnogi projekti su nastavili da se implementiraju. Nije to tako bilo strogo recimo kao kada Sjedinjene Američke Države nešto ukinu i onda se to bukvalno osjeti na svim nivoima društva. Ovde sa Evropskom unijom nije to bilo toliko osetno i mislim da su te mere bile više neki način opomene Kosovu nego što Kosovo zaista, da kažem, pati od mera koje su uvedene.
The measures have not ruled out cooperation between Kosovo and the European Union, with meetings taking place between officials in Pristina, in Brussels, and at various forums and summits across Europe. Regardless of this, Kosovo's government has repeatedly called on the EU to lift its punitive measures.
Countries who are at a 100% alignment with the EU must be rewarded, not those who have chosen Moscow as their path forward.
Në takimet që kemi pasur, kemi kërkuar që Republika së Kosovës të hiqen masat ndëshkuese të padrejta, të jepet statusi i vendit kandidat dhe sa më parë të na dërgohet pyetësori.
In order to lift the measures, Brussels has requested that Pristina must change its policy towards the Serbian community and implement all agreements with Belgrade.
The next steps remain conditional on sustained de-escalation in the north. The Commission intends to further lift these measures provided an orderly transfer of local governance in the north when it's achieved and following the local elections, and de-escalation should be sustained.
In December last year, the EU Council stated that it would gradually lift the measures. However, the process has been slow and, as stated at the time, conditional on further steps by Kosovo.
At least 12 people have been killed after a suicide bomber detonated outside the gates of a district court in Islamabad, Pakistan on Tuesday. According to Interior Minister Mohsin Naqvi, the attacker tried to, quote, enter the court premises, but failing to do so, targeted a police vehicle. No group has immediately claimed responsibility for the attack in the capital, which also injured 27 people. But Naqvi alleged that the attack was linked to the Pakistani Taliban, known as the TTP. Pakistan has seen a rise in violence in recent months, with a resurgence of the Pakistani Taliban, border tensions and a fragile ceasefire with neighbouring Afghanistan. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif denounced the attack in Islamabad and called for a full investigation, according to a statement issued by his office.
Uzbekistan is turning higher education into a driver of technological change. At the center of this shift stands New Uzbekistan University. It was founded in 2021 under the initiative of President Shavkat Mirziyoyev.
One of the missions of the universities to show that the universities can be integrated very well to the business, to the industry, to the government, to all of the stakeholders.
It operates as Uzbekistan's first public autonomous university with a focus on engineering, information technology and applied sciences.
We do a different approach, trying to make the students more not smart or clever, but certainly trying to find smarter solutions and clever solutions for problems.
Alongside its programs, the university is building a community of motivated young people from across Uzbekistan.
Hozirgi kunda Yangi O'zbekiston universitetida 1700 dan ortiq talaba tahsil olmoqda. Ularni faqatgina akademik tarafdan, balkim ijtimoiy faollikni ham qo'llab-quvvatlashadi. O'tgan yili shu prezident kabarda ham $100,000 ga ega bo'lgan talabalarimiz bo'lgan. Undan tashqari o'tgan yilgi ma'ruzalarimiz Tex YouTube platformasiga joylashgan.
Its programs are designed in partnership with the Technical University of Munich, Khalifa University and others.
So we're working together to support the university and also to strengthen the professors here, the students here, as you can see, bringing them together also with European partners, other universities, building up other exchange programs together.
Today, 80 faculty members work at the university. Almost 50% of the academic staff previously taught at universities, ranked in the Times Higher Education Top 600.
I started studying in New Uzbekistan University, and I was really motivated to start startups. In my first year of studying, I won with my team in a beer fintech hackathon. We got investment for 100 million for our startup.
Technology companies such as Apple, Huawei, and Yandex have opened specialized training centers on campus.
We actually teach students how to work with Swift language, how to construct some apps for iPhone, iPads, and so on. They have 3 months of courses. After successful completion of the exams, they get the certificate and they can find a job to work as a junior developer for iOS.
The president has announced an artificial intelligence cluster to be based in the university.
All across the country, nearly 20,000 teachers are going to be trained on the AI literacy and also AI tools until the next year.
Starting next year, New Uzbekistan University plans to open new schools of medicine and agrotechnology along with a medical clinic. The goal is to link education with real sectors of the economy.
At 23 years old, Matteo hopes one day to take over his family's farm. This polyculture breeding farm of about 40 dairy cows is located in Belgium, not far from Brussels. Matteo plans to be a caregiver for 2 years, a status that allows him to maximize his chances of accessing financial assistance necessary to take over the farm.
Les terres en Belgique sont hors de prix. Et quand vous avez 23 ans, que vous voulez reprendre une ferme, je pense pas que la banque soit d'accord de vous laisser un prêt d'1 million, 1,5 million, si pas plus, pour reprendre une ferme, quoi. Qui est en soi pas réellement rentable.
Only 12% of farmers are under 40 in the EU. The average age is 57 years. This aging presents a risk for food safety, warns the European Commission. Last month, the Commission presented a strategy to support generational renewal in agriculture. It proposes to include in the next common agricultural policy a startup pack of up to €300,000 to help young farmers get started. Other measures include the opening of the Erasmus program for young entrepreneurs to farmers and the creation of a European Land Observatory to promote access to land. The objective, to double the proportion of young farmers in the EU by 2040. For Matteo, the best way to encourage young people to start or stay in agriculture is to ensure fair prices.
On revient même les prix. Le débat sera clos, on sera payé comme il faut, ça va remotiver les gens. C'est parce que nous on est tout le temps dedans et qu'on est passionnés, mais produire un lait à 40 centimes alors qu'il nous en coûte 50, on va motiver quelqu'un pour le faire, quoi. Produire de la viande à bas prix parce qu'on ne veut pas nous payer, avec un emprunt 1 million sur nos têtes, va trouver quelqu'un qui va être motivé à faire ça.
Matteo stressed that consumers have an important role to play by buying local products.